In most every real estate contract, the buyers have at least two contingencies. Unless they waive those contingencies, these contingencies protect the buyer. And that is your inspection period and your financing contingency. They protect the buyer in case they don't want the house, they find something too torn up, or something else they don't like about the house. It could be the neighborhood. It could be airplanes flying over, right? They find something in the inspection period they don't like, and if they do it in a timely manner, they can walk away from the deal and get their earnest money back. That's the inspection period. The second one is a financing contingency. It protects the buyer. If something happens and they can't get the financing, then they can say, hey, you know what? We got denied on the loan, can't do it. Give us back our earnest money. The deal's over. But the third contingency is the one that protects both sides of the transaction. And it is mandatory in just about every sales contract that has financing. I'll tell you what it is.
Call or click 404 Eclipse.
So the first two are due diligence period, financing contingency. The third one is the appraisal contingency. It's very interesting how this works. And if your buyer is getting a loan, conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, pick one. If they're getting a loan, there will be inside of that financing contingency exhibit. Inside that exhibit, it has what is called the amendatory clause. This amendatory clause says, okay, let's say the contract price is $350,000. This amendatory clause states that if the house does not appraise for at least $350,000, then your buyers, it's got to appraise for the contract price, right? If you got a $350,000 contract price, it has to appraise for at least that much. Now, how does it protect both sides? I'll tell you. So let's pretend it, instead of $350,000, I'll just say $350,000. Let's say instead of $350,000, it appraises for $330,000. Imagine the appraisal comes in low. So here's how it protects both sides. It protects the buyer because, look, the contingency on this deal says that it has to appraise for at least the contract price. Well, it came in $20,000 low in this example. Instead of $350,000, it appraised for $330,000. Here's how it protects the buyer. The buyer does not have to bring an extra $20,000 to make the deal work. Nope, sorry. Deal was it had to appraise for at least that amount, and it didn't. So the buyer's protected because they don't have to bring, the gap. In this example, it's $20,000. Now, same example. $350,000, it appraises for $330,000. The seller is also protected because he doesn't have to sell it for $330,000. So if you did that, one contingency is one of the few that protects both sides, the buyer side and the seller side. So it's called the amendatory clause. It's in the financing contingency exhibit. And some of them they're time sensitive. You have to have that appraisal done in a certain time. But then some of them are not. Anyway, the short point here is that one contingency is one of the only ones that I know of that protects both sides. That's how it works. You heard it here first. It's Reggie Moon with Eclipse USA and Associates, brokered by eXp. Call me, we'll talk.